Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news. Hey, Lions fans. Today, we're diving deep into some recent roster moves that might seem small on the surface but could have significant implications for the team's future. You've probably heard the buzz already, right? The Detroit Lions, fresh off a tough loss against the Green Bay Packers, have made some roster adjustments that caught many off guard. Just days after elevating linebacker Anthony Pittman for the season opener, the team decided to part ways with him. It's a move that might seem like a routine roster shakeup, but it's actually telling us a lot about the Lions' current approach and their plans for the season ahead. The Lions announced that they signed linebacker Monty Rice and offensive tackle Devin Cochran to their practice squad. And in order to make room for these new additions, they released Anthony Pittman from the practice squad. Now, Pittman's journey with the Lions has been quite interesting. He initially joined the team in 2019, coming in as an undrafted free agent, and over the last 7 seasons, he's appeared in 56 games for Detroit. His role has been predominantly on special teams, which is a critical part of any team's success, especially in close games. Pittman has been a dependable presence on special teams, making 32 total tackles over his time with the Lions. What's intriguing here is that the Lions had already parted ways with Pittman at the roster cutdown deadline before bringing him back to the practice squad, showing that they saw some value in him. And last week, against the Packers, they elevated him again, giving him a chance to contribute on game day. But this week, they decided to go in a different direction, releasing him altogether. It's a reminder that the Lions are constantly evaluating their roster, looking for players who fit their evolving game plan. So, what about Monty Rice? Well, Rice is a former third-round pick of the Tennessee Titans, and he's appeared in 38 career games, making 129 total tackles. That kind of experience is valuable for a Lions linebacker core that's looking to bolster its depth after some injuries and inconsistent performances. Rice could very well step into a more prominent role, especially considering the team's recent struggles against the run and their need for more speed and agility at linebacker. And then there's Devin Cochran, an offensive tackle who adds much-needed depth to the offensive line. The Lions' offensive line has been a bit banged up early in the season. Taylor Decker, one of their key starters, missed practice on Wednesday with a shoulder injury, and his status for the upcoming game against the Chicago Bears is uncertain. This is crucial because the Lions' offense, which has been pretty productive overall, relies heavily on their offensive line to protect Jared Goff and open lanes for their rushing attack. Cochran's addition gives them more options on the line, especially as they prepare for another tough NFC North showdown. Now, speaking of that upcoming game, the Lions are facing the Bears, and the stakes are high. After a disappointing loss last week, where they struggled to contain quarterback Jordan Love, the team knows they need to tighten up defensively. Love threw for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns, but what really stood out was how effectively he extended drives with his legs. That's something the Lions' defensive coordinator, Kelvin Shepard, has been emphasizing. Shepard spoke candidly about how they need to do a better job of keeping Caleb Williams, the talented rookie quarterback of the Bears, in the pocket. Shepard mentioned that in last week's game, the defense did a decent job limiting Jordan Love's damage on the ground, but they're also aware that Williams is another level of challenge. Caleb Williams is a dynamic quarterback with exceptional mobility, and the Lions' defense will need to be disciplined and aggressive to contain him. Shepard highlighted that in past seasons, quarterbacks like Love have burned the Lions with their legs, so they're very aware of the threat. They're planning to have a solid game plan to keep Williams in check and prevent him from extending plays, which is a key to winning this week. This focus on containing mobile quarterbacks isn't new for the Lions. Over the last few seasons, their defense has faced some criticism for struggles in that area, but last week's game showed progress. They managed to limit Jordan Love's runs to just one, a 4-yard scramble, which is a positive sign. The coaching staff and players understand that if they can keep Caleb Williams in the pocket, they'll have a much better chance of disrupting the Bears' offensive rhythm. It's all about discipline, proper gap integrity, and applying pressure without overcommitting and leaving gaps open for Williams to escape. And let's talk a little about the bigger picture here. The Lions are coming into this season with high expectations, and why not? They've been building a solid team over the past few years, with Jared Goff leading an offense that's been versatile and explosive at times. Their defense, especially their pass rush, has shown flashes of potential, but consistency remains an issue. The addition of players like Rice and Cochran shows that Detroit is looking to strengthen every aspect of their roster, making sure they're ready for the grind of the NFL season. The Lions head coach Dan Campbell has been vocal about his team's mindset. They're aiming high, and they know that to reach the Super Bowl, they need to be relentless and adaptable. The roster moves reflect that mentality. They're not afraid to make tough decisions if it means getting better in the long run. And the fans, of course, are right there with them, believing in this team's potential to go all the way. The NFC North is a tough division, no doubt about it. The Packers, Vikings, and Bears all have their own strengths, but Detroit has been steadily rising, and these recent moves show that they're not settling for just being playoff contenders. They want to be champions. Looking ahead, the team's focus will be on minimizing mistakes and capitalizing on opportunities. The defense needs to do a better job against the run and in pass coverage, especially against mobile quarterbacks like Williams. On offense, keeping Jared Goff protected and establishing a balanced attack will be crucial. The offensive line, now with Cochran added to the mix, could be a key factor, especially if Decker is unable to play. Goff has been impressive this season, showing great decision-making and leadership, but he needs the protection to work his magic. The Lions' special teams, which have historically been a solid unit, will also play a role. Pittman's departure might open some questions about their coverage units, but the team's overall focus remains on execution and discipline. Special teams can often be overlooked, but in close games, they're often the difference between victory and defeat. And what about the division overall? Well, the NFC North continues to be fiercely competitive. The Packers, with Jordan Love, are showing some promising signs, and the Vikings, under new coaching, are trying to find their rhythm. The Bears, led by Caleb Williams, are eager to prove themselves after a tough start. This week's game between the Lions and Bears isn't just about winning a game. It's about asserting dominance early in the season and sending a message to the rest of the division. The Lions want to prove they're serious contenders and that they can handle the pressure of big games. The roster moves, especially the addition of Monty Rice and Devin Cochran, show that Detroit is preparing for a grind, for battles that will be won in the trenches and on the sidelines. They're focusing on depth, resilience, and adaptability, hallmarks of a team that truly believes in their championship potential. The Lions fans, of course, are energized by this, dreaming of another deep playoff run and even a shot at the Super Bowl. And it's not just wishful thinking. This team has the talent, the coaching, and now the added depth to make a real push. So, as we look ahead to the next few weeks, keep an eye on how these roster changes play out. Watch how the defense adjusts to contain mobile quarterbacks like Caleb Williams. Notice how the offensive line performs if Taylor Decker can't go. And stay tuned for the Lions' strategic adjustments on both sides of the ball. One thing for sure, Detroit is a team on the rise, and every move they make is a piece of the bigger puzzle toward achieving greatness. The passion, the talent, and the hunger are all there. This season could be something special, Lions fans, and we're here to keep you updated every step of the way. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on these roster moves and the team's outlook for the season? Do you think Monty Rice will make an immediate impact? Are you worried about Decker's injury and how it might affect the offensive line? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. This team is on a mission, and with your support, we'll be right here, covering every pass, tackle, and touchdown along the way. Thanks for being part of this journey, Lions fans. Keep the faith, stay loud, and let's keep pushing toward that Super Bowl dream.